Hi everyone, how's it going? I'm DW and welcome to Weekly Grooves with DW. So this week we've been doing a lot of syncopated grooves that have a lot of linear things with them and also 16th notes and fun stuff like that. This week we're going to go in a little bit different direction and we're going to do a tom groove, a up-tempo rock tom groove. This is such a fun groove to do. There are no 16th notes, it's all 8th notes, but the challenge in this groove is to really, one, get your 4 on the floor locked in solid, and to give this groove a lot of extra weight, you're going to want to lay back just a tad on your snare drum. Now, there's two parts to this groove. You can think of them as maybe a bridge or a chorus, or maybe a down chorus to a chorus. This groove you can hear everywhere. It's such a fun groove to play. You can hear it Castle on the Hill at Sharon, and most of the up-tempo worship songs use this groove a lot. This groove is a great way to give a high-energy fill, but not play 2 and 4 until later in the song. In fact, that's actually where it's most applied to in a worship context. You'll play this groove for the first chorus. That way, when you get to the second chorus, you add the 2 and the 4 on the snare, and it just brings it up. It lifts the arrangement up that much. So the basics of this groove is a solid 4 on the floor kick drum that you'll definitely want to practice at a range of different speeds. But since this is up-tempo rock, mainly, I'd say 130 to even 160. The most important thing on this groove, it is very tempting to rush this groove. But when you do that, you really lose a lot of the weight on your 4. So keep it in the pocket. All right, kick drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, your toms are going to be, for the first part, they're going to be all 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it's a 2-bar pattern, and the only difference is the second time, actually, you're going to be playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay. Now, once you get comfortable with that, and also if you only have a 4-piece or you have a 5-piece but you have another rack tom instead of 2 4-toms, you can apply this groove to that as well. The second part is a really fun part. This is the up part of the groove. And you're going to be playing quarter notes on a warshy crash ride. You can play it on a crash cymbal, but I recommend the warshier the better. Or if you have a ride that crashes well, you can wash that out. Also, since you are washing the ride, make sure to pump quarter notes with your hi-hat, just so everything is tight and all the band members can really lock into that 1, 2, 3, 4. So the second part is still 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and 4 on the kick, but you're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and again you can ad lib a little bit with that. You can arrange it and orchestrate it however you want to. The most important elements are the warshy quarter note crash ride, and keep your 1 and a 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. All right. So snare on 4 for both bars of variation A, which is your 2-bar pattern, and snare on 4 as well. Now, before you play this groove all together, practice each of the parts with a click track slowly to really get them jiving. Also, I want to talk a little bit about inner drum set dynamics with this groove. And I want to talk about mixing yourself for a little bit. Your kick drum should be very prominent with this groove. In fact, your kick drum should really drive this groove, especially if there's a bass player. Couple things you can do. If the bass player is playing eighth notes to really lock into him, you can play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But sometimes for grooves like this that use toms, you always want to have plenty of space because you want to let those toms, especially lower toms, breathe and that note boom, fill out. So I recommend sticking to quarter notes. Alright, as always, feel free to pause this video, practice all these parts separately, and then come back and do it with me slowly. 1, 2, 3, variation A 2-bar pattern. 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? Variation B, the big part, slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Also, if you want the first measure, you can play 1 and 2 and on the snare drum to give it a little bit more punch. But I do not recommend doing that for every measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Alright, both parts up to speed. Here we go. Let me fix my hi-hats real quick. Alright, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. I'm on my way. Drive down that road, yeah. And just so you hear what is in context, I sang a short excerpt of Ed Sheeran's Castle on the Hill. By the way, that's a great track. Go and listen to it. Also, another great worship track that this groove is used on, I believe, is Jesus Culture's Coming Alive. All right. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and keep grooving. I'll see y'all next time.